our leadership, and it's very important for us women who are competing with men. So I am from Kakamega County. I'm nominated, currently serving as chair, National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration Committee, Standing Committee in the Senate. And also I am chair, Kenya Women Senators Association in the Senate. So I said it is very good for me to come here. One word for you, women leaders. I just want to say that I'm really to be associated with you. And I want to encourage you that women, we do not have limit. If we do not have any limit in giving birth, if we do not have any limit in getting married, if we do not have any limit in doing what we can do, even giving birth to a life, why should we have limit in leadership? So I just want to make an effort that we are nearing campaigns. Let us maintain peace. We know we are a vulnerable group. We know we are fighting with men. But what I would like us to say, let us say to ourselves that, yes, we can, like Barack Obama. Because when we make it, we shall make a step in a community whereby then community will move to another level of identifying you, and then you will move forward. Identify yourself with anybody who is next to you. Pick what is good, move with what is good, avoid any distraction from any group of people who can bring you down. Because if we entertain any discouragement, then we are not going to make any effort. We have people or women living with disability, but I want to tell the women living with disability, especially from Kakamega County. Kakamega County, can you wave your hand? Those who are associated with me in Kakamega, I want to encourage women in Kakamega. You have come here, you are mingling with those other women. Pick the right thing, go with it, move with it. Make another level, the world, change things, and let Kenya observe and say that, yes, we have women who can do it. We are competing with men, but let also men, and take this one is my last word, let men also compete with us as women. Let us not be the only ones competing with men. Let also men find a space to compete with us. Thank you very much again, moderator, for this session. I want to say that I'm hurrying up to another meeting. It is online, and I am happy to be with you. God bless you all. God bless Kenya. God bless a woman of Kenya. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Another round of applause for our nominated Senator, Naomi Shiyonga. Now, at the end of the day, let us agree that people have to know you, know your name, know what you stand for, know your symbol, so that they can mark X against your name. See? And that is all at the end of the day that we're all chasing for, whether it's at nomination level or whether it's at the box, pale kwa ballot. So, tick, I'm those old school of X's, but I've been told tick higher, even the tick requires that they know you. This next conversation, if you take anything else from here, take this next conversation as the action plans for you. Because when you go back, people on the ground have to know where ni mama wa. As they spoke to us yesterday, Pasares, Mama Mata, Maito, however you brand yourself, so that people will know you. And so, this next conversation, I'm already at elections. Hey, I've moved quickly. Now, this not being my program, I'm a bit discombobulated. This next conversation is about branding. It's about communication. It's about media experience. And so I will invite onto the stage a media expert, Mr. Tom Boyer. Don't worry, they will applaud. They will applaud shortly. Don't worry, don't worry. Yes, you may. This is my seat. Miss Olivia Otieno, who is from Spice FM and also a communication expert, and Mr. Kwamchetsi Makoha, a communication expert as well. Excellent. Yes, this looks good. Hi, Makofi Kwao. You know, we've given you tea, so you have to clap. At the bare minimum. On a light note, because we must have some light notes. As usual, first we begin with a round of questions to each one of them, and then I will open to the floor for the questions that you have. Sawa. So I want to start off with you, Kwam, if I might call you Kwam. Excellent. Thank you so much.
So I will not repeat any of the things that I've said before.
I think the answer is repeat, but in short.
Yeah?
Kwa kifupi, summarize.
Yes. I have a favorite song I like playing for women political candidates. It's called Unbwagabo. You know Bwagabo? You know that part that says, who are you? What are you? Who the hell do you think you are? Do you know me? Do I know you? Get the hell out of my face. That's the easiest way to remember branding. So who are you? Your identity. If you are like my friend, the late Oriero Gomanduli, if Oriero Gomanduli walked into that door, the first thing you would hear are sound effects of her earrings and her bangles. Punguriu, pangaria, pingiri. And then the next thing is her headdress, right? And the colors. So she had decided that that is the thing that she was going to do. All right? So if you have decided that Martha Karua at some point decided that she was going to wear power suits, right? She popularized power suits when people are having a lot of questions about whether or not women can wear trousers. She decided she will lead on that front. So even your own dressing alone, even before you say a word, your own dressing alone says a lot about who you are, how you identify yourself. When you are looking for a job, what's the first thing they ask you to do? CV, isn't it? Yes, this is your CV. I don't want to make it any more complicated. So that's who I am. Who are you? Who the hell do you think you are is your credibility. What have you done? What should we recognize you for? Do you know me? Which is you're talking to? Yeah? I always like to say a lot of people in politics spend a lot of time with old men and old women. I don't know why, but if you look at Kenya's demographic structure, the majority of voters are what age? They are young, eh? Yeah, go and look at the population census. So do you know me? That's basically what that question is. Eh? And do I know you? It goes back to question one, which is, does your audience know you? But knowing you is not just knowing your name. I think it's knowing you in terms of being able to identify with you. They say, wewe ni mtu wetu. Are they able to say, wewe ni mtu wetu? And if they are not able to say, wewe ni mtu wetu, what is it that you need to do to make them think that you are mtu wao. Is that sufficient?
I think as a start, that's good. Thank you. I'll come to you, Olivia. Taking on from where Kwam has stopped in a sense.
Good morning, ladies.
Let me ask you the question first. Then, in addition to that one, there's a question that has already been asked and one to which, if you remember, ladies, Honorable Sabina Chege spoke about, that there's a setting in which she will never be seen wearing something other than a dress. And yet we've just spoken about the popularization of a certain way of dressing, the hat, the bangles, whatever it is. How, even as you answer the first question, let me add this one to it. How do you gauge which setting is appropriate for what kind of personal branding so that you can be able to appeal to the different types of constituents, from the old ladies and the old women that he spoke of, to the young voters who are the majority, so that you can be able to appeal to all of them? So in addition to his question, let me add that one as well.
Once again, good morning, ladies. 25 years, that's how long I've been in broadcast journalism. And I must say that one of the most important things you can do is research. There's almost nothing new that you're going to encounter. There's almost no new audience, there's no new forum, there's no new platform. Somewhere, somehow, it's already been done, and it's been done by someone. Trailblazing is something that you want to achieve with whichever platform you're going for. However, even as you trailblaze, it may not have been a woman, it may have been a man in that seat. So one of the most important things you can research, if you want to get yourself known, you want to get yourself heard, who are the people? Where are the platforms? Which are the shows? Whether it's an event such as this, whether it's a television show, whether it's a radio show, whether it's social media, the first thing you need to arm yourself is by understanding who is holding the platform. Then you have to figure out how you can engage with them. Now more than other things are online. You can conduct your research online. You can get your understanding of what that person or what that platform or what that forum is like online. Once you've done that, you've already equipped yourself with half the battle. Personal branding comes from your own desire to achieve. What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want to stand for? Are you up for sensationalism? Yes or no? One of the most important things I've learned over the last 25 years is that you must be memorable. No one cares for wallpaper. No one votes for something or someone they cannot remember. Once you are memorable and you understand what it is about you that will make you memorable, whether it's your makeup, whether it's your hair, whether it's your clothes, whether it's your speech, whether it's your enunciation of words, whether it's a key phrase that you always use, then you're on your way to achieving more airtime. But you cannot get that airtime if you don't even know who is on air in the first place. Why should they call you to be on their platform when you don't even consume that content? If you want to be in the paper, who are the writers? If you want to be on TV, who are the hosts? If you want to be big on social media, who are the big names in social media? And then use that by association. But be very careful on who you tag yourself with, because it's almost like a running mate, yeah? You will rise and you will fall based on what happens there. So the first thing is that you must always, 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 like I do, say my name. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Olivia Otieno. You must always say your name and what you stand for, because the minute you think you're known, the minute you think people understand what you stand for, that's the minute you fail. So the first and most important thing, don't go up there and ask questions, say your name and say it so many times. Why do M-Pesa keep having signs for M-Pesa? Why do Coca-Cola keep having adverts for Coca-Cola? We all know what it is, right? The most important thing you can go for is your name, because that is what they will see on the ballot box. If they cannot remember your name, you've already lost. So personal branding, being memorable, doing your research, them knowing your name is very, very important. Now more than ever, research with regards to the platform. Which audience are you speaking to? If you go onto my Instagram at Olivia Otieno, you'll see me in hot pants. You'll see me in short skirts. You'll see me in ball gowns. But those are all different events. I was not going to come here in hot pants. I could have, you would have remembered me, but chances of you taking me seriously would have been slim to none, right? So understanding your audience, understanding who you're talking to. When I'm Kijijini, when I'm in Siaya Lego, I'm in gumboots, right? I speak fluent Luo. You must understand your audience, right? So make sure that first you do your research, and second, you understand to whom am I speaking. Remember, communication is first and foremost non-verbal. People will judge you the minute they lay their eyes on you, right? So you must understand that you're communicating even before you've opened your mouth. If you want to create a good first impression, which is what most people are judged on, do your research, understand your audience, understand your interviewer, understand your platform, understand your forum, because it is on that you will be judged. If you want to be more lively, judge that audience. Some are in academia, some are not even educated, right? So the way in which you conduct your speech will win or lose that particular battle. Don't come across and say, this is what I am. Understand, because remember, you want them to vote for you based on what they want, not on what you want to portray. So understand that what they want and how they are comfortable in your communication is paramount. Renee?
Thank you so very much. And for those, remember the lesson on Monday, say your name. Now you've heard it from someone else, from the expert, in fact. So let's go to the all-important gaining access to media stations. The interviews on radio, particularly on vernacular, for those of us who want to go on vernacular radio, for print, to TV. How do we access them? What are you looking for from inside of the media stations that make us memorable enough for you to call us and for us to...
Thank you for having me. There are two ways of looking at this. And Olivia talked about always starting off with your name. So I just want to pose a question to the audience. Is it, my name is Tuli Tulitu? Or is it, my names are Tuli Tulitu? Okay, all right, fine. I get a sense that there are some of us who believe that my name is. Is that correct? How many believe my name is? Oh, excellent, brilliant. Now let's see how many believe that because it's more than one name, it is my names are. Because it's more than one name. How many? Let's see by show of hands. Okay, all right, okay. Here's the deal, I think it's better to play safe because you're one person, all right? And just say that, you know what? My name is. Okay? All right? So that's the starting point. Then number two, once a moderator introduces you, is there any need to say, thank you for having me? As you heard, my name is Tom Boyer. Is there any need for reputation? There is. I personally think there is no need because you are under pressure for time. You don't want to squander that opportunity to sell your agenda on television. Is that okay? So how about just going straight into the message that you have? All right? Now, these are the things that we look out for. When you're aspiring for political office, calling. All right? So, the most important thing for me as a newsroom editor or a reporter are two things. I either look for the fly or I look for the soup. Now, if you study the media landscape in this country, there is always the tendency to pick the fly and highlight it as the headline. Because that is what resonates with what? The audiences. We love Mushene, don't we? Muliona? Alipatikana kwa ile kona, muliona? Huyo ndio mheshimiwa, huyo ndiye anataka kukuwa mheshimiwa. So, we are also looking out for the negative things that you're doing. What am I saying? The converse is, then you have a lot of work to do on yourself. Okay? If you want the media to call you for an interview, don't go to them. There is no need. Work on yourself, and all the newsrooms will come looking for you. As long as you have an agenda for your people. Does that make sense? Does it make a lot of sense? All right? I have interviewed a number of seasoned, high-profile politicians. And after every interview, they always ask me one question. How did I perform? And you know, sometimes I'm not sure whether it's a trick question. Because these folks, these Waheshimiwas, are people who are very good with crowds. They are very good with the microphone. They are so charismatic. So if I've finished having an interview with one of them and he asks me that question, my brain thinks it's a trick question, but the reality is this. We all have some sense of nervous energy before a big event. Even sitting here right now for me, I don't know about my other colleagues. They're very distinguished, by the way. I felt a bit of butterflies, all right? Okay, it sounds like a trick, isn't it? But it's not. It's because I'm human. So what I do is I learn to coexist with that energy. I embrace it. I tell you, I know you are here, Mrs. Navas. Sit here on the side for a moment. I want to address this beautiful audience. Okay? Because the truth is, when you're having a bite, when you're biting a meal, sometimes unaweza kuuma ulimi kwa bahati mbaya. Is that correct? And it's painful, isn't it? But the tongue does not storm out in protest that it is living. It stays and it learns to coexist. The only thing that becomes better is the bite. Okay? All right? Does that make sense? Yeah. So when I invite you for an interview and you notice that you're a bit nervous, beautiful. That's the energy I need. We just need to flip it around and let it work for us rather than against us. Because that is the energy that will fire up your inner pistons. Is that correct? Point number 2, because I know the moderator is looking at her watch. When I pose the first question to you in an interview, and remember, I've already kindly given you the information, the topic that we are going to discuss, isn't it? I mean, it's only fair. And if for one reason I forget, please call me and tell me, hey, Mboya, I'm coming into the studio. What's our call? What is the subject matter? All right? So that it helps you to frame your message, all right? The who, the what, the where, the why, isn't it? Does that make sense? Okay? So once you have those 2 or 3 solid points that tell your message, some universal truths, the moderator agrees with it, you agree with it, and the audience agrees with it, you should never care about question number 1. It should not preoccupy your mind. Why? If the question is posed, so tell us, what are you bringing on the table? Don't go into that mode of nervousness. Start off immediately with the preamble that you had already structured. Your 2 key, strong, top messages. My name is Tuli Tulitu. I have done a lot of work with girls. And because of the work that we have done, we have seen a decline in the number of rape cases and pregnancies among teenagers. But the converse of that is we have seen an uptick in students enrolling for schools. Now, and it ties in with the question that you've asked. You see what you have done? You have set the agenda. The moderator is likely, most likely, the moderator will ask a follow-up question. Okay, moderator who listens will ask. So it means that question number 2 is based on question number, not question number 1, on the answer for number 1. Does that make sense? So you have taken charge of that conversation and you're steering it into familiar waters.
You know, after having interviewed all the cabinet in 2013 and again leading up to the 2017 election, that last point, that one is the one that throws off interviewer. We'll move to your agenda. So thank you so much for pointing that out.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about notoriety. At the risk, Kwam, of calling you Mr. Unbogable, we heard here on Monday that there's a place for activism so that you get noticed. Who remembers that conversation? And indeed that it was with someone who herself created a platform out of being known for being a very strong personality. And then she said, you must know when to stop with the activism and to remold yourself. Talk a bit to the value of being scandalous as a pathway to being noticed.
That's a very difficult question. You can hear me? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a difficult question, but let me attempt. I think we are all in the business of telling stories. And the story you tell is the story of yourself. So in preparing to come here, I went and looked at Statista. And I found that, do you know who the most trusted people in the world are? Kenya was among the people who are being asked that question. Any guess? Who are the most trusted people? The list tells me doctors, scientists, teachers. Yeah? No. Lawyers are number 8. Do you know the guys who are least trusted? Yeah?
Who are the least trusted? Shout it out. Mnajijua?
Thank you. Yeah? You seem to be aware of that result. The person who shouted journalists, you are not off the mark. Journalists are the 6th least trusted. Yeah, they are just behind bankers, business leaders, and people who sell insurance. All right? So, you asked me a question about notoriety. But I like to take this back to the question of what is the story you are telling? And is that story believable? Is that story believable? There are people who show up. There are some of you probably know we have a former governor, I think, who recently, he exploded the internet, yeah, with recordings of individuals, conversations, and things like that. And it captured everybody's attention. Did it win him votes? I don't know. You are the ones who are in the field. You are the ones who know. So you can be notorious. You can be notorious, but being notorious does not mean that you win the election. There's a guy, I think, from Bungoma who was very entertaining. You remember him? Called before you were calling. He ran for president. Does anyone know how many votes he got? Anyone? Any idea? They did not reach 2,000. All right? Out of a population, I think of a voter population of 12 million, he did not get 2,000 people. So you can be entertaining, you can be notorious, but being notorious and being entertaining is very different from leadership. I would like to pivot to now this thing about storytelling, which is, what is the story that you are telling? I think it has to be the story of us. It's your story, but it has to be the story of the people you want to lead. And I like to think about women in leadership. Women in leadership, especially. I think I'm getting impatient because of my age now. Now I'm aging. So because of that, I am beginning to think of this as a revolution. So in you doing a revolution, some of the tactics that you might employ will be unconventional. I don't know if I'm making sense. Yeah? So it means in some instances you will even employ guerrilla warfare. Right? Yeah. How are you fighting? You know, it's like, taking on KDF, 100,000 strong. They have tanks, they have airplanes, and all you have is bows and arrows. And you expect that to be a fair fight? Yeah? So in terms of when you also come into this communication space, I don't know if you are able to reframe your mind to tell stories and narratives that are different. Yeah? Because the men have written the script, and the script the men have written is they will show us nudes, right? They will scandalize us. They will do all sorts of crazy things to get name recognition, and then they hope they can come back and reclaim leadership. Right? I don't know if that is the path you want to go, because sometimes when you are in battle, you are being invited. You are being invited to take somebody else's strategy, and when you borrow somebody else's strategy, you don't know how it ends. Once you borrow somebody else's strategy, you have set yourself up to be beaten like a drum. Can I stop there for now?
I think you can. Sorry, and I should have pointed out that we've got a keeper. Please stand up, my love. And she'll help us manage the time on here so that we get the very many questions that are on the floor. So very quickly, I'll come to you still on that question of scandalous versus memorable. I think you used the word memorable. And also ask you, what about the spaces where we're not wanted? In those spaces where we're being closed out, how do we, can I use the word muscle ourselves in? Is that okay? How do we create the space at the table for ourselves to be heard and to be seen?
I'll start with your first question, which was getting airtime. I host a show every Saturday, 10 a.m. on Spice FM. My platform as a woman, I only host women, I only play music by women, I'm dressed by different women, I focus on issues relating to women, literature, female authors. None of you have contacted me. Thank you. None of you have contacted me. It's great that you want to do extraordinary things, but I still have to be made aware of it. Even if you're doing something great in Siaya, something great in Eldoret, in Nyeri, even here, maybe in Kariobangi, how will I know? If you don't tell me, how will I know? You'll assume that it's so marvelous, so stupendous that I will just find out about it and contact you. I'm also very busy. I'm on Instagram. I'm on a few other social media platforms. I work at the Standard Group. You can say, oh, I want to be on her show. I want to host you, but you're not letting me know that I should because you're not contacting me. So don't wait for the press to come to you. That time has passed. I'm sorry to say, Tom, but the time of press coming to you, it's really passed. Unless you are so extraordinary, you're with Michelle Obama or you're with Charity Ngilu, something, then maybe I'll come to you. But right now, where you sit, you need to come to us. You need to come to us and say, Olivia, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. Give me some minutes. Chances are I'll give it to you. I've hosted Vivian. I didn't know that she was also an aspirant. I knew her as a designer, but I came across one of her articles in the Standard and I was like, oh, you're running. You want to come on? But I need to know that you're running. The press need to know. People with the personalities need to know. So first and foremost, that is really, really important. The second thing with regards to scandal versus memorability, of the things you're going to talk about are going to be very boring and no one will care, right? You have to reach out and understand my platform for why should I care? Why should the person who's writing the article or hosting the TV show or making headlines on social media care about your girls or your school or your, whatever nonsense it is that you want to promote? And understand that it is nonsense because all of you are doing it, right? So you must know that person and their interests, yeah? What do they want to achieve? On my show, on Double O Direct, what do I want to achieve? And how are you going to help me to achieve it? I've been in sales also a very, very long time. I don't sell by saying, hi, I have this thing and it's so nice. No. You sell by saying, this thing is gonna change your life and make you rich and get you a husband, children are going to go to great schools, and they're going to go get scholarships. Really? I want that thing. Right? So you have to go out there and tell that person, whoever it is going to be interviewing you or giving you airtime, how you are going to get them more listeners, how you are going to make them trend. Esther Passaris came onto my show and said, "O, a hustler is a male prostitute. Do you want to be hustlers? Because a hustler is, go into the dictionary and Google hustler." I was trending. I'm like, Esther, anytime you want airtime, kuja. Yeah. So for you, right, how are you going to raise my platform and therefore I raise your platform? Remember, it's a two-way street, right? It is a two-way street. So stop thinking, but I've these girls and they have mission. I don't care. It's boring, right? It is very boring. So I'm not saying, wear thongs or, you have to be the next Orierogo Manduli. She was also a rally driver. But what is it about you that's going to get me more listeners, going to get me more viewers, going to get me more hits? Because people are selfish. Even you hear selfish reasons. Renee?
Gloves zimetolewa. And now, and after you respond, Tom, I'll open to the floor. And now to the question, and I think we still have to circle back to this, negative media publicity. How do we address it? How do we counter it? And how do we hold media accountable when they push, promote, or indeed even publish information that is untrue, incorrect, partially correct, or is put in a way that holds us in a negative light?
I mean, we have legal brains inside here. And you know that if you do a story as a media house and expose yourself to the consequences are, isn't it? So in the news, one meeting, in the newsroom, we have various layers of scrutiny, okay? There is the reporter who comes to you to get your story. Olivia has talked about how you package yourself and how you look attractive for the newsroom to spot you. So once we come to you, right, with the invitation to come in for an interview, all right, we have 4 or 5 levels of scrutiny. So the first one is the reporter, all right? There's somebody on the desk, the alternate, all right? All the way to the managing editor, and sometimes even the chief executive officer. So when you see a story going on air, that is a story we can stand by, even in court. All right? Because we've vetted it. All right? Okay? So what I wanted to say, just as a follow-up, to tie in with what Kwamchetsi, because he used the adjectives battle, muscling, and strategy. And I thought I could propose something to you. Because the strategy for the boy child has always been to go out and get it. All right? Sindio, kungangana. How about you flipping it over, and rather than pushing, you use the pull strategy? All right? Rather than being pushy, how about pulling? Organizing yourself in such a way that your messaging is clear, the way you present yourself in the public is clear, the solutions you have for the people you want to vote for. All right? Okay? So that media is coming, pulling it in. There is no need to go to them. And we have seen certain big names. Wangari Maathai did it. She picked one message, and the message was forest. All right? I happen to sit on the board of an organization that, fights for trees. So if you ask me for my business card, I won't have, okay? All right? So Wangari picked her message and took it to the top. Every media house, the BBC, CNN International, KBC, where I work, and by the way, make sure you tune in on Monday and Tuesday. So those who want to be interviewed can come and see me, all right? Place a call and say, nataka kuongea na Uncle Tom Boya, all right? These are the issues I've worked on myself. I'm sure Tom will give me 10 minutes. And those 10 minutes, I'll be very brief. I have my issues out, yeah? Why my audience should care about you, what you have in store for my audience. Remember, it's not about me. I'm just a facilitator. Why they should vote for you. And am I seeing end there? Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
Excellent, thank you. Good starting points, ladies. And of course, at the end, we'll always ask for their contacts. Maswali sasa. I want to open to the floor. Where are my mics? Where are my microphones? You're also... One, lady right at the back, two, over here, three, madam over there, four, madam in the hat, five, white sweater, something, top, lady in orange and yellow. Now, all of you who have called this round, stand so that the person with the mic can find you. This one, at least we have another round that I'm assured of, so you can sit down for now. Let's just do that round. Where's the mic? Actually, you know what? Just come here so that you ask the questions quickly, since there's just one mic. The mic, let the mic go there first to the lady with orange. No, turn around. Lady in orange. Everyone else, come here so that we ask the questions quickly, so we have another round. Those who I have pointed out to, don't crowd me, otherwise we will have to stop this exercise. Ask the question. Okay.
For this opportunity. I'm Catherine from Kakamega, an MC aspirant, Malai Songo Makunga Ward. I'm a woman with disability. My question goes to the media. My brother Tomboya and others. Why is it that sometimes media so much go on the negative part of a politician, especially women, reporting the negative part of it? Is it a strategy to help this woman? Like, for example, when I'm a woman with disability, maybe I'm in forum and I'm an aspirant, you find that when my crutches are broken, when my opponents are pulling me down and up, maybe I'm not able to access the podium, that is when the media will come in and the message will go viral. Is it a way or a strategy to help me or maybe to pull me down? Thank you.
Excellent question. Criteria. Okay, then now come and then we'll just ask the questions real quick, okay? And then we'll see if we can do another round as well. And say who it's addressed to or if it's addressed to all.
Thank you so much. My name is Nelly Chepkemoi Langat. I'm an MCA aspirant, Kilgore Central Ward, Narok County. My question cuts across.
Ladies, one meeting.
My question is cutting across. Now, when I've been engaged in the morning shows at TV47, the morning cafe show. So I'd really like to ask a question about identifying yourself with a certain clout, because I've always identified myself with the youth clout. Is it okay to identify yourself with a clout when you're being engaged with the media? And the second question is about the branding part, about the slogans. Please tell us more about its effectiveness in engagement and branding. Thank you.
Excellent. Just the ones who I had called up for now so that we get the round of answers.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vivian Ta. I'm running for MP in Langata, Nairobi County. My question is to the panel. Maybe help us understand. We know that notoriety may not be really great all the time, but how do we make it work for us in a way that the media will not blacklist you? You know, because there's some things you can do and they will, you know, black you out. So how do we make it work for us in a way that allows you to still get more opportunities?
Good question. Next. Come, my love, don't go too far off. We said we're going to occupy all spaces.
Good morning. My name is Jane Mbora. I'm vying for Women Rep, Nairobi County. My question is to Tom. You mentioned that when you're going for a TV interview, they give you a brief of what you're going to talk about. Oh, sorry. Good morning. Can you hear me now? Yes, my name is Jane Bora. I'm vying for Women Rep Nairobi County. My question is to Tom. He mentioned that when you're going for an interview, they give you a brief of what you're supposed to discuss, right? So what happens when they divert from what you're meant to discuss? And especially when it touches on matters that are a bit too personal. How do you go about it? Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Catherine Wekesa, running for Women Represent Nairobi County. My question goes to Tom. The other night, she has already said what I had wanted to ask. I was like, I'm asking about, let's say, like you say that when we want to, we can connect, we can reach you, or we don't know how you're going to reach you. Maybe because of this COVID, maybe we can use Zoom or maybe conference or whatever. Is it possible?
Excellent. Thank you. Using technology to reach the media houses.
Yeah, the media house.
Thank you. Next question.
God is good and all the time, and that is his nature. My name is Dr. Medina Halako Twalib from Tana River County. My question is, those women ambao tuko huko mashinani, how do we get the attention of the media people so that we can be called for those interviews? And the second one is, in case I'm in a forum, a big forum, not on media per se, you know, the way we campaign and we go to the people and you talk, how do you start by saying, my name is Dr. Med, how do you get the attention of the people? Thank you.
Kina mama hai, munipungie mkono. My name is Dr. Kerenyaga. I'm running for governor, Kiambu County. I want to commend the media for what they have shared is what I have capitalized on. I have managed to penetrate very many of the media platforms, the mainstream TV, Inoro, K24, KTN, because of being unique. So, ladies, you must be unique. Another strategy is masquerading. Every time you see cameras being set up, go there and masquerade. And you have to be phenomenal. You must masquerade. So I'm very happy with the strategies that are coming up, like the one of Ati Hasla is a male. It makes you trend. So let us be unique. Let us make sure that we get inside there. By hook or crook, it's not easy. Then you also have to get your people uko mashinani wenye watapiga simu kwa TV station ama kwa radio station kukusalimia tu, hiyo inasaidia. So I just wanted to say that the media can make you. It has made me. Now I am very popular in Kiambu despite running on a Kanu ticket. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And sorry for masquerading to come here because you
No,
didn't
even
see my
now
hand.
as well.
You didn't see my hand, so I came here masqueraded by force.
Take notes.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning. My name is Scholastica Mado. I come from CI and I'm running for an MCA position. Before MCA. What? Oh, the word is called Southeast Allego. I'm sure you don't remember. You don't? Okay. Now, before I ask my question, I had gone through an incident where my opponent actually said bad words about me. Those things of women doing that to women. But unbeknown to me, that incident actually ended up being viral and working for me because the public realized that that was wrong for the man to abuse me, and it went viral and I got mileage for that. So sometimes it may be good. Anyway, the question that I'm asking is, sometimes during political meetings or political rallies, you find that your opponent has strategized to what's the word I'm using? Strategized for people to boo you. And how do you recover from that, get your composure back and continue? Because in most cases, when that happens to you, it shakes you off and you are off balance and you cannot continue. So this is a strategy that I would like, as the time goes by, it's going to be hotter and people will use all sorts of strategies to destabilize it. That's my question. Thank you.
So ladies, we have someone who's coming in. So I've said to the ones who are asking the questions, name, question, sit. Because once she comes in, I have to yield to her. Okay.
Great. Yes, Ijid Jerry, aspirant MCA, Nyandaro County, Miragine Ward. My question to the media personalities. Why do you always give a platform to these ignored people? That is number two. When you come to a forum like this one, like now you're expecting somebody to come and give us something.
No,
It's
no
like
more.
a governor.
Sorry, no more at the end
When
of
the governor talks,
Sorry.
you always review. Mnatuacha sisi ambao ni wa chini, hatuna mtu wa kutukava yenye tunataka kusema. Why do you do that? Thank you.
Excellent. Keep going, keep going. Just the four who are there, allow me to pause because as I've said, we've got a guest who's coming in and I want some answers before we go to the guest. And when she comes in, I have to yield. So I'll ask you, not this round. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Rose Ashley, Mama Mazingira. And I want to just, I don't want to get back to the question which has already been asked because that is what I was going to ask. But I want to tell you ladies, really brand yourself well and it will make these media personalities look for you, not you to look for them. This has really brought me where I am. And right now, even when I'm here, the news from the village, they were tangazaring Mama Mazingira and they forwarded to me. I wasn't even there, but they really look for me. So do brand yourself in a unique way. It will help you.
Thank you very much. I am Jennifer Kianga. I come from Makueni. Two brief questions. One, the first
One meeting, ladies.
Yeah. The first one is, kindly give us some tips on how to overcome blockages that are being put. Watu wanakuwekea barriers, especially when they feel a contender and a competitor. In terms of party, in terms of penetration, people want to block you. That is the first one. Some tips on how to maneuver. Secondly, this is to Tom Mboya. I don't know whether he's listening. Mboya, yes, thank you. I have been in the space of greening, doing environmental conservation, attracted attention at national level and East Africa level. I would appreciate some airtime on CNN. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Again, like I said, because I'm pushed for time, and I've already asked 3 others to sit down, I won't allow you. Please allow me to just say no, write it down, and bring it. Last question.
Hello, ladies. My name is Banis Cherotich Kitum. I am from Elgeyo Marakwet County. I'm vying for a women rep position. My question to the media is, how do you handle adverse negative publicity? Do you respond? Do you counteract, or you just let it die naturally like that? Thank you.
Excellent. Right, this round, and then I'll keep my eye on the door. As long as we don't have our guest in, we'll do another round. And feel free to write the questions as well. We're passing them to whoever needs to. Now, let's start on this end with you, Olivia.
Ladies, there was a question about youth, clout, and slogans. So until you're known, your slogan is a succinct message of what you stand for, whatever it is. I'm Olivia, host, Spice FM, women, 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 right? Women guests, women music, women authors, women in fashion. So your slogan is very important, but your slogan must be relevant to what you stand for because it is like your flag, it is like your banner. So keep saying it until it is now known, and then you can drop it after you're elected if you don't want to use it anymore. But your slogan is very important because your name is your identity, but your slogan is what you stand for. With regards to being blacklisted and notoriety, Vivian Ta asked, think of even former presidents like, Donald Trump, right? Being blacklisted by the media now in 2021 isn't really that relevant because there's so many other forms of media. I think Vivian was talking about mainstream media, but a lot of people who've been popular even on social media. And a majority of the people who you're looking for with regards to electing you, which are the youth, are using social media as a platform. So if you continue to conduct your messaging and to align yourself on platforms, will get recognition. Thank you.
Excellent. Kwam?
I'm going to do a very quick rundown of the issues that came out as I distilled them. I heard from Ms. Lagat and I think Wekesa, who are talking about discrimination, and the lady from Kakamega. Complaints mechanism. If you are dealing with formal media in Kenya and they do something that you feel are unethical, there's a Media Council of Kenya Complaints Commission. So it is possible to engage the Complaints Commission. You can engage the media house and say, you made a mistake and I would like you to correct it, or something has been said about you. Usually, from my years as an editor, if you've made a mistake and you acknowledge, what usually we'll do is that we'll give you an opportunity to reply. So you can exercise the opportunity to reply. In my own view, I tend to think much better into a confrontational argument. So do the opportunity to reply. Discrimination, we were also talking and saying our constitution actually says there needs to be affirmative action. I just as Guild conference last week, and one of the conversations we are having with editors is there a need to have affirmative action for women in media? Because you look at the voices of media, you find that there are a lot of male voices. And finally, just to recognize Dr. Medina and what she did there, because she's wearing a hijab, but she made a Christian greeting, so you made an impression on me instantly. But the question that you asked, which is more significant, is with are the Ramogi being launched, that is your friend. Inoro, both the TV, that's your friend. I'll cede space now to my colleagues.
Can I go? Adverse publicity. Okay? Simple. Clarify. And just state the facts. But don't be sucked by the negative energy. If there's something that you feel, besmirches your reputation, don't worry about it. Just come and clarify. There was also the question of how do you recover after you have been booed? Ooh. And you go into paralysis on stage. Simple. And that's why I was telling you, nothing beats them. Once you have prepared yourself and you have your two strong universal truths that connect with the audience, collapse back to that. When they're booing you, thank them. Okay? And then get back to your message. All right? Okay? How do you tackle personal questions? All right? There are some questions that are very invasive. Again, shoot straight from the hip. Be truthful. Say, thank you for asking that, but, that's a bit personal. How about if we looked at, the work that we have been doing over the past 10 years, all right, which has had a lot of impact on the ground, okay? All right? Don't let anybody drag you into the bedroom. Stay in the living room, okay? All right? Now, there was somebody who asked about mashinane, the ones in the far-flung areas. And that's a good question to someone like me, because the infrastructure that KBC has is across the country. So just get to know where the correspondents are, all right? And tell them Tomboya told us if we come to you, you will connect us with him. Sawa sawa. Okay? Media sometimes has its agenda. That's a global thing, isn't it? Okay? But rather than look at media as a bad animal, seek to partner with them. Just work on yourself, fix your agenda, know what you want, and then reach out to the media. They are very supportive, by the way, because we are also looking for stories. If you people are not there, how do we get stories? And by the way, congratulations to the ones who have spoken. I think you are good with a microphone. Yeah? Okay? You remember the last time a Kenyan An individual with Kenyan heritage was given a microphone in America. Where did he end up? In the Oval Office. All right? So well done. There was a question here from Karo Ogot in Kisumu County. And I'll read it because I know our guest of honor, the guest speaker, is just about to come through. How do I behave when I share a studio space with a character like Miguna Miguna if the moderator does not protect me from his reeking demeanor? Remarks like he did to Honorable Pasaris, do I walk out? Does that weaken my brand? How do I contain that kind of energy? Karo God, Kisumu County. That's a brilliant question, all right? First of all, the responsibility rests with the moderator. You see, we invite you to have a conversation, okay? If we wanted to fight, we would have deployed you to the barracks. There is an issue, you're an expert, and you're coming to share your knowledge, not to fight with your fellow panelists, okay? So the moderator has a role, and you can tell the moderator, when I came here, you told me this will be a space of decorum and respect, all right? And I feel my fellow panelist is hitting below the belt, all right? And if he does it another time, I will politely and respectfully ask to leave, all right? No media house wants to capture a storm out. I know a few politicians have stormed out from media houses. It reflects badly on us, okay? So stand your ground and lay the facts, but do it respectfully because you're also building bonga points, all right? We are the jury out here. We will see. People always remember how you bounce back. And I've seen the placard at the end.
Thank you. Olivia, you have one question you wanted to respond to, and then the senator, I know that you've got 30 seconds, if you don't mind, maybe a minute. Go, and then the senator.
So the question is, media cover women and men differently. What are media houses doing to reduce gender biases, especially in panels? So one of the things we're doing is there's a platform just for women on Spice FM every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. However, one thing that's very important is that 75% of the engagement I have is from men. So although I'm a woman, I only host women, I talk about women's issues, but women's issues vary from being elected, what to do upon arrest, investment, etc. These are issues that affect everybody. 75% of the interactions I get on Facebook, on Twitter, the WhatsApp messages, the calls are from men. And they're calling to say, that is very interesting. I want to hear more about that. I didn't know that. That has helped me. Don't think of it as a platform just for women or a platform just for men. Think of it all-encompassing as a platform more than anything else. The other thing is, please prepare yourself always for the worst. Prepare yourself for the worst. Read out and talk to yourself in a mirror or to somebody who doesn't know you or your agenda. More often than not, we only sit amongst ourselves, we talk to our family, we talk to our friends. Does what you're saying actually make sense to anybody other than your immediate circle? When you're going onto a media forum, remember, we want to get viewers, we want to get listeners, we want to have news-making articles. So when you're saying that your opponent is always getting coverage, what is it that your opponent is doing that you're not doing, and how can you call that out on the other platforms that are made available to you? So be prepared always for the worst. Be prepared always for a miguna miguna. Be prepared always for a hostile situation, and then understand, as Tom said, how to then bring decorum and bring etiquette back into your lives. The other thing I've noticed, what you wear, how you sit, how you talk, how you even go and serve your food. Remember, you're supposed to be future leaders. The next generation is supposed to look up to you. So conduct yourself in a way that defines leadership even before you are elected. I'm hearing situations of women not dressed appropriately. I'm hearing situations of women not queuing. I'm hearing situations of women wanting to assert themselves even in a line to collect food and leaving none for anybody else. These are not the women we want to have in public service. Remember, it is service at the end of the day, right? So conduct yourself as the ladies and as the future leaders that you are.
Thank you. Senator, for a minute, you had a response. As she takes the microphone, let me just tell you the first thing I was told when I went on air. Expect to be trolled. Develop a thick skin. You don't know your voice, until you've gone through every negativity. They will hate you, then they will shame you, then they will laugh at you, then they will sigh and they will accept you. Allow yourself to get to the end. Msikufia hapa katikati. Senator.
So much. I want to encourage women who are seated here today, and especially those who have asked those positive questions, those questions that most of us have. I want to respond to a few who are asking how, when you are preparing to address people and then somebody distracts you from what you are going to do, and then you get yourself lost somewhere. Please, I want to encourage you, focus. Put the word focus in front. If you focus to what you had come to do, regardless of somebody coming and bring some distraction, probably from the crowd, they are pulling you down. Please do what we call focus. Just talk what you wanted to reach, because the media, sometimes I want to say that they have 3 Ds and they really avoid 1 D. Out of the 4, they focus on 3 Ds. The 1 D is death. When death has happened somewhere, you will get media putting that as the headline. They also look at distraction. What is distraction? What is happening around to distract or whatever? They focus on those hard news. They also look at discrimination. One has said, the lower you are, the more they discriminate you. They like doing that. But one thing they hate, the media hate, it is that they hate development. You are building for somebody a house, somebody does not focus on that. So I just want to encourage you to do focus. Brand yourself, move yourself. Those who come from Kakamega know that I am called Mama Signal. And when I stand up, people say, Signal imeshika, network iko hapa, na tunaenda mbele. So what I want to tell you is that just look for a unique name and then make relevance of name. Like me, if I'm Signal, what does the signal say? Network imeshika, utasungumusa, you will go ahead. So when you are looking for a branding, also look for a brand that will sell you and will make you. The last thing, despite the time, Madam Moderator, it is that when we went in Parliament, there were people who were known, they were very public. And you want to make sure that you also are captured. So what do you do? You put your eyes focused to the speaker, and even you do like this. You pin so that the speaker sees you. When you stand up, focus, talk what you want, get your space, assume that those men and women who always are focused on, they are not seeing you, they are not there, and you talk your point, talk it well, give it your best, and you will see the world focusing on you. Thank you very much. And that's how I won the award of Kenya Women Empowerment.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator. And just sanitize the mic and then you can bring it back this way. Now, there's a question here that I've held, which is, what do you do or where do you report if your names appear in the ballot, only 2 names instead of as per your ID? That will, who is it who gave me that name? Question, Christina. That will go to, I'll pass it onwards to the IEBC, because I think that is the right forum to respond to this question. And all of the questions you've asked, incidentally, we're putting down in an FAQ that we're sending with the answers to everyone, including all of the contacts. Now, there's one question that I was waiting for that has not been asked. And I know it's on all of your heads. What about money and reporters and favorable reporting? How many people have asked that question, have thought of that question? The story that you must pay so that you can appear, and where you appear, and how often, and in what light. And how do we address that when we have journalists who, on the other hand, who also call you and say, I have this photo. How much are you going to pay for it not to be published? Which way do we start? Do we start from Olivia or from...
Can I pick that one? Can I pick that one? Listen, guys, Listen, journalism is a profession, and we are bound by certain ethics, all right? So if there is a case of a reporter demanding for a bribe from you, please establish which media house is working for and reach out to us in the office. Because we are all bound by ethics. However, as a country, I'm also alive to the fact that the big C is an elephant and we have to deal with it. All right? Corruption is one of those people you aspirants who are running for office must speak to. All right? How do we cure it? Why is it still there until today?
I'd just like to jump in there. I love how Tom is full of etiquette and Tom is full of decorum, but this is the jungle. This is the wild, wild west. This is gloves off. And let me tell you, there's mainstream media, then there's social media. And yes, there are seasoned journalists who went to journalism school, who learned all these rules and regulations, but most people did not. You see how they drive on the streets, yeah? You see the level of corruption in this country. People don't have morals. People don't have principles. People don't have etiquette. Please don't expect that. Go knowing this is the jungle, all right? So if someone's asking you for a bribe, yeah? You know, I'm not saying do a certain thing that a certain governor may have done in terms of making some recordings, but remember, you also have a platform. If you're going to pay, right? Pay for Google ads. If you're going to pay for Facebook ads. If you're going to pay for Twitter. Pay for something that's actually going to help you and say, no, the reason why I'm doing this is because I've tried and tried and tried. Olivia, I have sent you countless messages. Yeah, you have never responded to me. This is the only platform I have. Use your intellect, right? And make your money work for you. Please do not be fooled that people have standards, people have morals, people are going to help you. No one is there to help you. No one is there to raise you up. You must raise yourself. So with regards to people asking for money, you will be asked for money. With regards to people asking for blackmail, you will be blackmailed, right? Prepare yourself in advance. Look for other avenues. But at some point, we will come looking for you. We'll say, actually, Mheshimiwa, Honorable so-and-so, naomba tafadhali unipatie interview. We will come to you.
And Kwam, your response, and then, just before you respond, the 5 ladies who had asked to sit down, please stand up. The ones who had come to the end of the, and I said, no, I can't ask you the questions. Please stand up so that we see if we can take your questions. Kwam, please.
Thank you. That question, Renee, is valid. One of the things that is a big problem in Kenyan media is corruption. And it takes 2 forms. One is just extortion, but another one is called facilitation. So you will find that your male competitors will carry reporters with them in vehicles to inspect development projects. And you, on the other hand, if you are not able to do that, you are going to be disadvantaged. I'm going to be brutally honest, my sisters. There's no one here the age of my mother. You're all my sisters, right? So one is that you will find those forms of corruption. They are soft forms of corruption called facilitation. So if somebody is moving from one point to another and they need to jump onto a border, there are some people who say, I will make it easy for you, right? But if people are actually extorting you, additional to what Tom had mentioned, the Media Council of Kenya runs an accreditation service. Please familiarize yourself with the website, mediacouncil.or.ke, and they have an accreditation list. Sometimes some of the people who are extorting you are not even accredited. All right? So once you figure out that that person is accredited, you can even send an SMS or an email to the Media Council of Kenya. Third and finally, everybody has this thing. Does everybody have a thing like that? This thing nowadays is a whole media house. Donald Trump, the entire time he was president of the United States, never wrote a single press statement. He was using Twitter, and he was making news every single day. It is possible for you to even set up your own little broadcast facility on Facebook. You can actually stream, you can live stream your own meetings. You can live stream on Twitter as well. So sometimes also don't be in this position where you feel you don't have power. You need to take some of that power to enable you to negotiate better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me get some assistance with the microphones, starting with the lady in orange. I think, Florence, are you? Let's start here, and then these 5 plus 1. Nakuona. But quick, because now we're on the clock completely.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Ashura Michael, aspirant to Nairobi County Senator position. Most of the time, we have houses. They ask very simple questions. They feel like they feel sorry for you as a person with disability. This is my biggest issue. Tom, when you've gone back to KBC, don't ask what I do as a person with disability. What is the biggest agenda that I can do, just like any other person? Number 2, media personnel always pick, maybe I would say, strong persons. For example, like Gladys Wanga. We are all here. We are aspirants. It's not fair. Ask us the same question you ask the sitting members of parliament. Thank you so much.
And perhaps stop asking us how we manage our husbands and our children. Nobody asks the men how they manage us and their children. Go ahead.
Hello, beautiful ladies. My name is Nancy Rono Chebaibai. That is the ground name, from Bomet Central, Mtarakwa Ward. I'm vying for MCA in Mtarakwa. Now, I want to thank the media today for enlightening so much about our personality, because personality is the key. How you present yourself is very important. I would want to ask that, is it monotonous when you appear in the media house, like every week or more often than, other opponent? Will they be saying that kazi ya huyo ni kwenda kwa media too? Would really like to know that, because I'm one person who goes to the Kass FM most of the time. They keep calling me, and sometimes I decline because I feel like,
hey,
maybe it is too much.
Stop. Come, we beat you collectively as the media table. Come right here. Ladies, now we have started. Can you hear the reaction on the stage? Never, ever decline. Never. What they say about you is none of your business. Are you in the business of seeking publicity or not? I can tell you from the side of the newsroom, and these ones can attest to it, that there are very few who are looking actively to give women spaces. And when they call you, it's better you say, if you can't come, let me call Olivia. She will be able to respond to that, because I can't make it today. Set up another woman, but don't you ever decline.
Renee, it's called public office for a reason. It is called public office for a reason. It is public. If you want to do your private matters, please stop seeking public office.
Did you hear that? Don't ever do that again. Yours. It's your turn. Hey, it's gloves off, eh?
Honorable Madabauni, all leaders here today, na wasalimu hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. My name, yes. Hello? Hello? Mnanipata? Kwa majina naitwa Margaret Choili. You are on. Your national gender champion who petitioned for the 2/3 gender rule. At most of the time, actually, I've not been wanting to ask questions, but I've just been wanting maybe to top up a point. And I've asked if they can just give us 3 minutes after the official business. We have something to share.
Okay, so did you have a question?
A question is to commend the media house for what they have done for me. KTN, Giapanda, search for Margaret Toili. That is my program I have been running. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next. When you see a lot of officials coming, it's time to clear. So and I want your questions in. Where I cut. Again, I'm sorry. Until, no, because we'll get into trouble for time. Yeah, go.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mheshimiwa Florence Oile from Migori County. I know there is a pressure of time, but I'm lucky to share that in the 2017, I ran so hard for the position of National Assembly. This time around, I have downscaled. I'm going for the MCA position for very good reasons. I am just mature, but the others tend to abuse me so much that I'm too old for the MCA position. They are forgetting that I'm just mature. Now, my question, because we have to be very straight, as I said, I have very good reasons for downgrading. We can share because this is also a position sharing. Now, my question may be directly to FIDA. I'm not very sure, but please accept it. We have been told how we must look for money also. You cannot buy if you don't have money. But my feeling and from experience, sometimes you may have money, but you do not know how to use it. Inakuliwa yote, na bado you do not reach where you want to go. Like right now, I have some good money, but I'm worried how I will use it so that I get what I want. Thank you.
Okay, one meeting. Otherwise, we won't have time for answers. Now, I will cut you off with your question. I want name, question. Don't give us a preamble. We know you're great.
Good afternoon.
Ladies, everyone else, one meeting.
My name is Maureen Wanjiko Munyoroku, vying for MCA from Karema Ward in Nyeri County. My question to the panelists: how do you position yourself when you find yourself in the same podium with your opponents? Do you speak fast or do you speak last in a way that you become memorable?
Thank you. Next question.
My name is Vera Chepkorir. I'm a women rep aspirant, Narok County. And my question goes to the whole media. How independent is the Kenyan media in regards to news reporting? Because Kenyan media houses sometimes bias towards certain politicians and reporting positively towards certain political parties or politicians. The media should be the eye of and the voice of the voiceless. So how independent is the Kenyan media?
Thank you very much. And our last question, I'm afraid, because you can see what's going on over there.
Okay.
I'm afraid not.
Last
question.
My name is Beatrice Karweda. I'm vying to be the Member of Parliament for Meru North Imenti constituency. This is the second time I'm going to be running. I want to just give an experience of 2017. The way things are on the ground, there's time you don't even have time to report a journalist who is asking you for money. And I don't think that is what we want to do. What we are requesting from the media leaders here, are you able to set up a meeting for us to network with the editor so that nobody cuts our conversations once it's nearing the election period? That's what they do. The competitor will pay off so that nothing appears about what you're speaking. Because all the women who are sitting there, what they lack is publicity and resources.
The question?
Yeah.
Because as you can see
they
now,
can set up a networking forum with the editors so that we ensure we also communicate to them that our coverage is given support. The second question will go to FIDA or IEBC. We know there's an amendment to the Elections Act so that the names of the people who go to the ballot are the ones who are nominated. So we are requesting you to help and support so that the nominations go to the people who went to the ballot.
So I'm going to cut you now.
Yes.
I think we got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So those are my questions. Thank you.
No, I'm going to cut you off now. Ladies, we have our guest of honor here. And so I literally have to ask you to now take your seats, to ask our speaker, starting with Olivia, who has to go on air immediately right now. Are you able to respond, or do you have to go on air and then we'll...
I'll just make a response with regards to your opponents and finding your opponents. Remember, you are getting into the ring, right? You're going to face your opponent. That's the whole point of this exercise, yeah? Thicken your skin, understand your key points, and focus on your agenda. Or should I talk first? Who cares? Imagine there's no one else there but you. It's not a matter of when you speak or how you speak.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Sorry. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to.
Excellent. Kwam, this is when now you manage time to the second. Go. Kwam. Thank you, Olivia. A round of applause for her as she leaves.
Yes, yes, there is. Yes.
We'll share. We're sharing all of the contacts.
Okay. Yes, there is ableism. You asked that question, my sister. There is ableism. Excuse me, please translate for her. Thank you. There is, yes, I agree that there's ableism in media, which is that we tend to see people who are abled better than we see people who are disabled. I am sorry if the questions that come to you are a bit simple. So the reason you are in leadership also, is to raise that level of discussion. So come there and surprise us. Come and shock us. Ruben Kigame, who is visually handicapped, is saying he's running for president. Lawrence Mute has been at the National Commission. So show us your leadership.
Thank you so much, Kwam. Tom, last word.
Last 3 words. Prepare, prepare, prepare. I thank you.
Please allow us to give a round of applause to our panelists today, including Olivia, who has left. Now, here's what's going to happen next. We had a final treat for you before you leave, and I know many of you are beginning to look at the time as you prepare to travel far away. The Honorable Her Excellency, the Governor, Anne Waiguru, is here to address you. So you see, even if you beat me, I have a small treat for you. Now, here's what's going to happen, ladies. She's open to giving a short speech and a Q&A. I ask of you kindly, I won't be able to take everyone's hand for sure. So allow that those who ask the question represent everyone, okay? The second thing is that we will have to vacate which tables? This table that says chief guest, and those who will need the interpretation can come to Okay, got it. Okay, so I've understood what's going on. So we'll add 2 more tables and we'll move you to another table so that you can be able to continue to enjoy the services. So we will vacate these 2 tables, 1, 2, 3 tables, these 3 tables. We will add 2 more tables and we will be able to move you specifically. And I think we will share the other table. We might not have social distancing amongst us. So allow for an interlude while they bring in the extra tables, and then we will have Her Excellency come in and address you. In the meantime, be strategic right now. Write down what is the one thing you will be known for as you leave this conference. You've heard people branding themselves. Write down, share with the lady who is next to you. Nikirudi nyumbani, I will be known for fill in the blank. Thank you, and allow us to now take a short break while we fix the furniture. Thank you once again. Yes, we're sending around the contacts to everyone in our mailing list, because sometimes people are saying, I didn't hear that number or I didn't get that email, so we'll send around in the mailing list. Now, 844 people, you know this. The lizard on the high Iroko tree said what? If no one will clap for me, I will clap for myself. Aki clap for the MCs. Hii kazi ni ngumu bwana. Clap for the MCs. Justice Violet, Commissioner Winnie. Kayamba Africa. Quick quick, quick, quick. The women are hot and ready for your music. Yes, there will be for the late classes. Well done. You. All right, ladies. I need volume. I need volume. Wait. No, wait. Ladies. Ladies. No, stop. Wait first. No, wait. You know we agreed. We're going to, no shouting. I love this, by the way. This is brilliant. Oh, I love this. Now, here's the thing. No, I'm not going to yell. You're just going to have, you know, there's nothing worse because we can't yell as women louder than a crowd. So it has to be that we command respect and sound with the voices we have. Now, here's the thing. For all the ladies who are lined up and for those who aren't, I will orchestrate so that we have an opportunity for everyone. Here's what I ask you. Don't rush her. Don't crowd her. Don't reach out and grab her. Remember, she's a woman like you. We know when we're grabbed how we feel violated. Do not violate her in the way you wouldn't want. Mshangilie, celebrate her, respect her, honor her, bless her. And then as soon as you're done, sit. Here, I move because I'm passing you. Then you move past me. Shikilia, nikapotea. Hold on. I need to
All right, ladies, take a seat, take your seat, take your seat. Take your seat quickly as you can. What an honor. Have a seat now. Quick as you can. Wasn't that fun? A round of applause for Kayamba Africa. Haven't they done us good over the last few days? Now, ladies and gentlemen in the room, Madam Mama Selfie. Sit down. Wapi makofi ya FIDA for the work that they have done. Excellent. Allow me to have your attention, please. Ladies, if there was ever a moment for one meeting and for decorum, this must be the one. Her Excellency, Governor Anne Waiguru. Allow me to introduce Her Excellency to you. Remember earlier we were told about CVs. Listen to this. Her Excellency, the Governor Anne Waiguru is a trendsetter. We know this. And one of the most influential women in Kenya. She's one of only 3 women to have ever been elected as governor in this country. And after taking leadership of the county of Kerenyaga, which is a rural county in central Kenya, Madam Waiguru has spearheaded the implementation of a robust and transformational development agenda under the mantra, Kerenyaga Rising. In the earlier session, we asked, what's your brand? Are you now hearing for brand? An economist by profession, Her Excellency Waiguru describes herself as a pragmatic leader, as a diligent public servant who always upholds excellence performance. Owing to her ingenuity, she has received numerous recognitions and awards and was named top under 40 most influential women in Kenya in 2011 and top 100 most influential women in Africa this year in 2021. And those are just some of her accolades. Prior to her election as governor, Her Excellency served as the first ever Cabinet Secretary for Devolution, tasked with the responsibility of overseeing the country's shift from a centralized to a devolved system of governance. As a cabinet secretary, she won a total of 15 awards in Africa and globally, including the 2015 United Nations Public Service Award, following recognition by the African Society for Public Administration and Management for ensuring efficiency in public service delivery. This was what introduced to us the one-stop delivery centers called the Huduma centers, which we are now all going back to because of the funds we talked about this morning. Correct, ladies? Now, Kenyans can attest that the Huduma service centers have eased access to government services, for example, registration of business entities, application for e-driving licenses, application and replacement of lost national IDs, and other services. She had earlier served as the National Treasurer at the National Treasury as the head of governance, head of economic stimulus program, director of integrated financial management system, IFMIS, between 2007 and 2012. Through the sheer hard work at the National Treasury, she led the IFMIS team to win 3 awards for exemplary performance. We're not riding on being women. We are riding on performance, on excellence. She also currently serves as the chairperson of the Gender, Youth, Sports, Culture, and Social Services Committee at the Council of Governors. And she has a strong belief that you and others like you, women leaders, should band together and achieve equality in the social, economic, and political landscapes of their countries. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the governor of Kerenyaga, Her Excellency Governor Anne Waiguru.
The Secretariat and members of Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Netherlands, Womankind Worldwide, Awesome, Vota Dada, the European Union, Maendeleo ya Wanawake, various political parties represented here, various government organs and non-governmental organizations, fellow elected leaders, distinguished guests, ladies, and I don't know whether there are few gentlemen in the room, participants here present, good afternoon. I will give very brief remarks because I know whatever it is that I would want to say in general has been said, and then I will give bulk of my time to question and answer, because I believe that there are people who may want to ask questions that haven't been addressed previously by those people who have been here. But I must say that I'm very encouraged, and it's really a great pleasure to see so many women aspirants in one room. It's really, really encouraging. It gives me great pleasure to address this important forum at a time when the country is gearing towards the 2022 general elections. This engagement, therefore, is a timely initiative that significantly contributes to ongoing campaigns that seek to bring women together to support each other up the political leadership ladder, regardless of our party affiliations. My experience has been a steep and learning curve. I was elected in a highly contested gubernatorial election, becoming one of only 3 women to have ever been elected as governors in Kenya. Later, I was elected as the vice chair of the Council of Governors, again becoming the first woman to ever hold that position. In my learning, I had to work twice as hard as my male peers to get into those first 2 positions. I also found myself as the only female governor in Mount Kenya region, an area where the number of women elected to parliament or to the county assembly is pretty dismal. These experiences have given me purpose to be at the forefront in fighting for inclusion of women at all levels of decision making, because I believe that a society cannot leave behind the voice and face of more than half of its population and attain an equitable socioeconomic and political development. We still live in a society where women are judged by their gender more than the leadership, education, or management skills that they possess or have demonstrated. We as a country need to actualize the aspirational 2/3 gender rule that was wisely written in the Constitution. Every institution, organization, and arm of the government should be required to have not more than 2/3 of either gender in all its leadership structures, including the executive. Unfortunately, that is not the case until today, 10 years after the Constitution. In my position as a senior woman politician in Kenya, I am committed to using any available opportunity to encourage and mentor aspiring women leaders with the hope that this time around, we attain an enviable number of representations in various positions. The subject of gender equity can no longer be an attainable footnote. We are equal shareholders in Kenya. By number, by economic participation, and growth of the country. All of us must commit to actively include, champion, mobilize, negotiate, and implement what we know is the rightful share of women in Kenya. Today, I assure you of my commitment to that agenda. And again, I say this regardless of party affiliations. We are women first, then we are members of political parties. So, first agenda. I pray that this conversation does not stop here, but will continue until we get enough women believing in themselves and coming out to offer themselves for election for various positions. It will not be easy because they have to deal with a lot of negative publicity by political opponents who still hold on to the notion that women ought not to rise too fast in leadership. We must always still soldier on. As those before them, upcoming women leaders will have to deal with a lot of falsehoods peddled about them in the aim of diverting their attention to mundane issues and discredit them as capable leaders. Those are hurdles that we will together jump until we win the race. Even though there have been quite some progress towards achieving gender parity, much more still needs to be done to have more women elected into political offices. As it is currently, a woman has still got to put in much effort in convincing the electorate to elect her than her male counterparts, and that's a fact. My advice to the aspiring women leaders in this room is to, however, not shy away from dreaming to achieve their leadership goals. They must believe that they have what it takes to bring tangible change in areas that affect them, since they understand better the unique interests of women and girls. And I'm told that yesterday, one of the lessons that you learned, that the greatest resource that you need is not money, is yourself. You must first start by believing in yourself. With BBI now behind us, we have a collective responsibility of pursuing other means of ensuring that the number of women who will be elected into leadership position is higher during the next general election, and by no means should it be lower than what it is today. The media plays an important role in shaping the women leadership narrative. It must help us in dismantling the deep-rooted attitudes only men can occupy certain positions. Besides giving women a platform to express themselves and sell their visions with the electorate, the media is called upon to observe fair reporting and avoid judging women on a higher pedestal than they do men. The space that the media occupies as far as expanding the space for women leadership is enormous. It can be better utilized than it is at the moment. So let us make this debate a continuous and progressive one, whose fruits should be seen after the next general elections, where we pray and hope, have more elected women than those who are nominated, and more women elected than the number that we have today. So thank you very much, and God bless you. And I will now open the session for a question and answer. Asanteni.
Let me ask quickly that this podium be moved and put down and just arrange for that right. Her Excellency said that she has about 20 minutes for us, so we know the procedure now. Lady in the white jacket, lady in the purple one, the one in the black one, please come to the front because we don't have very many mics to go around. Lady with the stripe, red and black and white, you know your colors as you are. The one with the pink, and right at the end, the other one with the stripes. Let's start with those questions. Ladies, we'll have another round if we can. I'm going to ask this. Short, sharp, and to the point. I will interrupt you this time. Everyone else, shall we listen in for the questions? Thank you so much. Everyone else, please listen for the question. Another microphone.
My name is Helen Kirago. I come from Kiambu County, Ruiru Sub-County, Kawendani Ward. I am running for MCA. My question is, in as much as women, we are fighting for positions, in elected positions, Madam Waiguru, we are asking, what are the steps that are being taken, especially when it comes to nominations? We understand when it comes to nominations, most people who have not even been to the ballot are the ones who are given these nominations. For us to give us a fighting chance, those women who fight to get to the ballot, can they be given a fair chance to get these nominations?
Thank
Yes.
you. Excellent. And no, let's sanitize in between now. We're still in COVID times.
Governor Iguru, it's a precious seeing you here as a governor and as an example for other women. I'm aspiring for presidency. And I am very happy because you've been there, we've watched you, but it is time for us to be courageous enough, as you have inspired us, to start for that seat. And I know these women are with me. My question is, as a woman, my name is Greta Modoni. My question to you, as a woman, what would you do for women, fellow women, to help us to be strong, to start firm? Because we have seen what have been happening for all the 56, if not 60 years by men. Because I think we are very sober-minded from the mistakes that have been done. What are you going to do to help us women to be firm and be an example, a good example that we can be firm by ourselves? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to our aspiring presidential candidate.
Good afternoon, Honorable. My name is Regina Chumba. I come from Uasin Gishu County, aspiring for Segero Parsombe Ward MCA. Mheshimiwa, you are a mentor to women in Kenya. My question is, what have you put in place, or what do you have in plan to encourage women with disabilities to be elected?
Excellent, thank you.
The guest of honor, madam, all protocols observed. My name is Caroline Owen from Kisumu, aspiring for the position of MCA, North Kisumu Ward. My question to the icon of women leadership sitting before us and others who may hear this, that what are you putting in place as women who are already at the top to ensure that women who are strong on the grassroots are elected? For instance, adopt a woman candidate by financing her campaign and ensuring that she's elected to increase the numbers. Because,
thank you.
For instance, you are coming from Krinjaga, and there are like 10 women candidates who are very strong. If you put finances in their campaigns, you are investing in them and ensuring they are elected, then our numbers will surely increase.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Next.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Her Excellency, we are privileged to have you here and we really appreciate your time. My name is Lilian Anyango. My county is Kajiado County. I look forward to be in the Senate to make the rules that will make devolution work better, especially for you, Madam Governor. Allow me to go to to quote what you said. You said, I pledge to support women to take up leadership positions. One thing that we know that you have done is to fight for farmers. We know your history with coffee farmers, and we know that when you stand on behalf of others, it really works. We would wish to just get concrete, examples on exactly what you're going to do to hold our hands, to make sure that we don't go to parliament again to fight over this two-third gender rule thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you. My name is Emmy Atemeshi Salambo from Westland constituency, where we house our honorable governor, Madam Governor. We are obliged to have you. I had few questions as you were talking, but most of them have been already asked. So I'll go straight to a very typical question facing women. Remember from 2013, 2017, you were being told or cheated about two-third gender, and we knew very well you fought for that, even though we had only few of us who went in the parliament or wherever. As it is, we are being told by some of our lawyers that the present parliament was in that act illegally. Okay, this time around, we want you to leave here assuring us, or any message to the IEBC, tell them what will happen, or how are you going to push this two-third gender in any given constituency. Are we going to have an elective seat for a woman, or it will be the same as always?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next. And don't add yourselves to the line. The rules haven't changed.
All protocol observed. Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Jane Aokokeo. I'm an aspiring MCA, Sarangombe Ward in Kibra constituency. My question and concern is, what have you done as elected female leaders, and underline the one elected female leaders, to support the upcoming aspirants?
Thank you very much. Pass it behind you.
Mama, hi. My name is Yasmin Hussein Ali. I'm a young woman aspirant at the age of 21 years. I'm vying for the seat of MCA in Wajir County.
Repeat your name.
So my question to Honorable, my name is my name is Yasmin Hussein Ali. I'm a young aspirant at the age of 21 years. Yasmin Hussein Ali. I'm a young aspirant at the age of 21 from Wajir County. So first of all, as female aspirant from the northern part of Kenya, we have many things to overcome, such as culture, religion, biased clan elders, and negotiated democracy, where youth and women are not included in decision making. Therefore, my question to you is, what kind of guidelines and advice do you have for us, since we have a lot to deal with?
Thank you. Thank you. Behind you.
Your Excellency, Madam Governor, my name is Maria Nato, an aspiring women rep for Bungoma County, and I'm also the National Women President, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, represented in all your counties, so you need my contact. This is my question. Your Excellency, you have fought many battles, you have started many initiatives that are commendable in this country. My question is, and this is a direct one, what makes you think you cannot lead us and be a president in this country? Secondly, the issue of mentorship that is going to cut across also the feeder. We see, especially some regions there, their leaders have risen up, their women leaders have risen up and are very key and consistent on mentorship. Some of us, some of the regions and the majority of the regions of these women are orphaned because those who went ahead of them have not set any model. And so we are asking you today, Your Excellency, I know you have been one of the best serving governors. Won't you adapt us, the women in this room, that you can mentor us. You can be a mother icon that we can look up to because of your successes. You have fought as a woman and have succeeded. And for Fida, please don't throw away the baby with the water. After this, can't you adapt us and carry us through to the end? Thank you so much.
Excellent questions. Next.
Thank you so much. Hi, ladies. Your Excellency, our Governor. I am Margaret Mbuni, women aspirant from Vihiga County. I'll be very brief, as much as we really admire your strength in the hurdles. What have you done as one of our leaders to make sure that from this election of 2022, we will not run a government or a parliament that is not following the rules? We have seen them going down. Number two, as we sit here, you can see the way we are looking at you.
Hold
Please.
on. Ladies, one meeting. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Can we have a way forward? Because we have had many forums with the feeder and other forums, but when we finish, we tend to just cut ourselves there. Can you just please, madam, just look at these ladies and plan for them something? They are really desperately looking at you. Those who will fail, those who will get. But we really need your word. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Madam, our chief guest. My name is Frida Nyaboga from Nyamira County. I'm standing here because you are my role model, because I have faced what you faced, and I come from a county where there is a lot of discrimination against women. I come from Nyamira County, where in the first quarter of devolution, only 2 women managed to get MCAs. And now during the second quarter, only 1 managed, and she really went through a lot of torture to be able to go through as an MCA. So in Nyamira County, elected MCA only 1, nothing more. So I'm standing here proposing to stand as a governor, Nyamira County. If I do not manage, then I will squat as a running mate to someone who will see my potential. Thank you very much, and I hope I will be supported as a woman running for governorship or deputizing running mate for someone else. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, and let me allow that the questions be short because we have a hard stop at 1:30, and you can see the time. Huh?
Haya, hamjambo wote. Habari zenu wamama oye. Kwa majina naitwa Sylvia Paita kutoka Kajiado Central, Matapato North, MCA aspirant. Hii ni mara yangu ya pili kusimama kama MCA. Wakati wa kwanza tulikuwa kwa chama cha Jubilee na hatukufaulu sababu ya unyanyasaji ya wanaume, na mimi niko hapa tu kwa maombi moja kwa mheshimiwa. Sababu hapo ukiwa umeketi hapo, wewe ni mwangaza kwetu sisi. Nataka kuomba hivi, huko Masaini ni maajabu sana, ni maajabu mwanamke kusimama akawa governor, wacha MP, wacha MCA. Ningeomba kama ngeenda huko kwa kina Nalotwesha. Hawa sisi tunaita kina Nalotwesha, wale mnaitaga nje Wanjiko. Sisi wao tunaita Nalotwesha. Angenitembelea tu wa mama wa huko Meto, Lorngoswa, huko Ngiito, waone mama kwamba naweza. Mimi nashukuru na nakukongratulate, congratulations sana sana.
Good afternoon. Your Excellency, Madam Anne Waiguru. Kwa majina ni Agnes Nkanya from Stronghold. And I'm vying for aspirant Magmoni Ward MCA. First, I want to congratulate the governor of Kerenyaga County for your mentorship programs that you've been doing. I've been following you. I've been attending some of them. Daughters of Mount Kenya. The time you are with Lydia Mathia, I came for Kerugoya meetings. I've been to Lusoi meetings. I've learned so many things from you. And my question is, how can you extend the same mentorship to the rest of the part of the counties, especially these marginalized counties like Tharaka Nithi,
where we cannot be able to access women who are in power to show us the things that are being done. It has come a time when we are ready for a woman president. We can back you up. We have another one here. We can make a stronghold team to back a woman like you so that you will be able to pull us together as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Her Excellency, the Governor of Krinjaga, my governor. My name is Honorable Lucy Njeri Mwaneki. I have an amazing governor. I want to tell you, women aspirants and women leaders, he is an amazing leader. Clap, clap. She is an amazing governor. Clap for her. Why do I say that she's an amazing governor? Number one, she has worked with us as women in Krinjaga County. I know you have seen the battles we have fought with the governor. You remember? Do you see these two faces? That time when there was battle, she worked with us, we worked with her as women, and right here she is. I have been on her negotiating table on where we want to go. Is it there? But my governor was trying to think. I was telling my governor, I want us to go for president. I want to work with you this journey of 2022 as a president. But my governor tells me, I'm still introspecting. She's still there, still going for governor, but she's still introspecting. Cindy, what would you like her to go for? Governor, you hear? Still introspecting for president, eh? But for 2022, she will tell us exactly what she wants. My governor, my question is, now we believe that governors are very strong in political parties, not like us MCAs. I'm vying for an MCA in Krinjaga County. But governor, I know those political parties, we will have a say. What are you going to do for us as women to ensure that the two-third gender rule is considered through the political parties, other than us going to the IEBC for those nominated seats? And you as well very know those nominated seats are not given by merit. Indio, they are not even given to these ladies who struggles very hard. We want it to occur through the political parties.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep looking at your watches because we also want her to respond. Huh?
Okay. Well, Mama, hi. Governor Waiguru. My name is Maureen Odiambo. I come from Busia. I'm a women rep aspirant, Busia County. In fact, I'm the youngest aspirant. My question is, being the youngest aspirant in Busia County for the seat of women rep, most youth are banging on me. And I just want to ask you, Governor Waiguru, in case I fail, because the fear of failing is very much high than the fear of winning. Most women believe that the seat of women rep is for the women, but not the youth. It's very hard to convince the women to understand that.
Wait, hold on.
I just want Governor
Lady,
Waiguru.
hold on a second. Hold on. Ladies, shall we allow her to ask her question? So, allow her. Go ahead.
So, Governor Waiguru, my plea is kindly to shike mkono, because I've tried reaching out to women leaders, but no one is showing interest in helping me. Kindly, nishike mkono. Asante.
Hi, ladies. I'm Pastor Jacqueline Cherono from Nakuru Town West, vying for the seat of MCA. I really want to honor you, our dear governor. My questions are two. One is concerning the women charter that we were told yesterday, because women are vast, and this amongst the women, we are equipped. My request is that why don't we have an academy so that we may come out refined, strong, and able to vie for the seats. I really applaud FIDA, but this is a 3-day conference, that from this, may we birth something big, so that once we go out, we don't go out selling ourselves as women, but we sell ourselves as leaders. That is one of the concerns. My second concern, my dear governor, because you are a go-getter, and the nation knows that wherever you are, things are done. It is my humble request as women, because personally I come from the ground of clergy, and being a clergy, it's not easy. Once you are outside there, unaambia ubiri injili, wachana na siasa. And it is just my humble request that out of these 47 counties, if possible, through FIDA and these other well-wishers, the NGOs, if you can come out with just a program, not only just because of the political seats, but a continuous program that every time we can always be molded and being refined. That is what I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the last two questions.
Hello, everyone. Madam Waiguru, we appreciate your presence. My name is Cecilia Wanyanga, MP aspirant from Udaya constituency, Nyeri County. My question to you, Madam, is one. In 2017, we had a lot of problems as women in Mount Kenya region. Allow me to zero down on Mount Kenya because of what they call the Council of Elders, and especially for the single mothers and the divorced women, because they felt that we could not sit in their presence, and they were the ones approving who is to vie and who is not to vie, who is to be approved and who is not to be approved. Madam Waiguru, by then you were a single mom, and I know your hand was held by the president, and that's how you got through. Now, I'm worried for us. I'm worried for us as single mothers.
Okay, hold on. No, ladies, sorry.
I'm worried for us as single
Ask the
mothers.
question.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Everyone else, accord her that respect. Yeah?
We need to be held our hands, and now that you can sit in that council, and now that you can sit in that council of elders, or you can be respected to sit in it, you need to put our point across, that we can become leaders, even when we are single mothers, or separated or divorced. Thank you.
Wamama, hi. Her Excellency Governor Waiguru, our Executive Director for FIDA. My question is, I am running in Kibwezi West constituency as a member of parliament. Kibwezi has been male-dominated for years, other than when Honorable Agnes Ndete was the member of parliament. Now, I recently read, I don't know how true it is, that you moved political parties from Jubilee to United Democratic Party, to UDA. You have a candidate in Kibwezi West constituency who is male. I am the favorite candidate so far. I have managed to break that male-dominated ice, and I'm rating at 65%. I'll break it down. Women support me 75%. Men support me 45%. The youth support me 80% because I've done a lot of work for them over the years. I've worked on this since 2013. I've been in TNA and Jubilee, and I vied once, and I came third. When you come to campaign in Kibwezi West, will you support me as a fellow woman? Will you support the UDA candidate because he's a man, he's in UDA, or will you be neutral on that position? Because I need your support. And I will not really look at you very well if you come there and support your UDA candidate. I will feel shortchanged as a woman. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your support.
Thank you very much. Now, let's give an opportunity.
Juliana Kisimbi. I'm Dr. Juliana Mumo Kisimbi.
Thank you very much. Let's give an opportunity now for the governor to respond to this first round, okay? And let me ask this. Really, women? I shouldn't be standing up to tell you not to make noise, should I? Should I really? We've agreed that we do things differently from the men, isn't it? So accord her the silence, the respect, the dignity, the opportunity to respond to these questions because these are your questions. Your Excellency.
All right. The questions are very many. There are those that have been asked here, and there are those that have been written. And so that to be effective, allow me to do two things. I will cluster them because many of the questions were the same. They were basically asking the same thing. And then I will answer the different questions so that we're not repeating ourselves. So I will not respond per individual, but I will respond per question in a cluster form. Is that acceptable? Yes. All right. So I think the first thing that I have had, the general question amongst everybody is, what are we doing to ensure free and fair elections? That was the first one, especially at the MCAs and the nomination level. And I can speak on two fronts. One, many of you knew that I was at the forefront of the BBI initiative. And the reason I was actually, my main reason for having supported that initiative was actually the issue of gender. And I said that across the country, because I saw this as our rare opportunity as women to have that security of ensuring the implementation of the not more than 2/3 gender rule. That hasn't worked, and we are at a place where we are now looking at alternatives. And in a country like Kenya, the alternative, there is no other alternative to the law. The law is actually written to ensure that we adhere or design policies and programs to ensure that we implement constitutional provisions like the one of the 2/3 gender rule. Within the political parties, we are insisting as women, and I think FIDA can help, and other women institutions can help when they are working with IEBC, to ensure that the party lists that are submitted by whichever party, whether it is UDA or whether it's Jubilee, whether it is ODM, whether it is Golden, or whichever party, that the party lists adhere to the zebra list, where you have a male and a female choice for every position. In the event that the party does not secure 2/3 within their party, and they have more men, then the IEBC will pick the female candidates from the zebra list. I think that's the only way to ensure. The other thing, and the other question I have had, is what do we do to ensure that you women who have presented yourselves to run are not left out, and the people who make it to the list are people who are just picked because of various connections, again, between the various institutions, the political parties, and the IEBC. The general rule is that the people who make it to the zebra list are people who have made an attempt to actually run for political office. So it is not somebody who gets on the list because you know who is the chair of the electoral board of your respective party. And I think even if that was originally in the BBI, even if it's not there, I know the guidelines that are actually being done and the conversation between institutions such as FIDA and IEBC, because they need to be advanced by neutral parties. The guidelines are being given by IEBC to ensure that we are respecting that fundamental issue of women aspirants who have actually made an attempt to run. And I think that is what we can do. We can ensure that we keep pushing it from our point, wherever it is that we are. I am now in UDA, and proudly so. And I will answer that question. I was hoping that somebody would ask me that question, and I haven't seen anybody asking me the question as to why move from this party to this party, and why would you do that? I was hoping that somebody would ask me that question as a woman, so that I can also be able to respond to you, to understand that in politics, there's a lot more, many other things that you need to consider other than just being extremely restricted by certain, let me say, associations. But I will respond to that at the end. The second issue I have had is what are we doing as women leaders to hold other women aspiring leaders' hands? What are we doing? Jerry, for example, you've had her from Kerenyaga, is one of my mentees, actually. I have worked with Jerry. She's a nominated member of parliament from the time I joined Kerenyaga, and she's not the only woman nominated that I work with. She goes with me very many places. I do that to expose her to meetings, for example, to understand the dynamics of politics. You know, when you sit in a room like this, you just say, hold my hand. But what does hold your hand mean? It's not possible for one individual to hold the hand and mentor directly 50 or 60 people. You can coach 50 or 60 people, but you cannot mentor 50 or 60 people at the same time. But coaching is also sufficient, where you provide an environment where you learn and understand. Because many of us as women, we actually don't succeed in politics because we really don't understand politics. We think we understand politics by social media. You think that if you declare your candidature, for example, and put your face out in social media and get out and go to 2-3 women groups, then you have understood politics. Many of us fail because we don't understand very many dynamics. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with people who I was explaining the challenges of being a woman and a woman leader. They're very unique to women. We are mothers, we are wives. You know, we need to be home at 6 or 7 to make sure that your child has done their homework and their family is fed. You cannot be necessarily out there every single day. Whereas men have the freedom to continue their meetings and their alliances and their networkings into the middle of the night. Now, if 2 gentlemen are somewhere at midnight discussing politics, it's not a story. They were just out. You try as a woman leader, be somewhere out with a male colleague at midnight. And that is the end of your political career, at least from where I come from. So you will never find me after 6, 7 out there with, and especially male. Why? Because I understand my society and I understand how society perceives that kind of engagement. And so then you have to think as a woman, how do I ensure relevant at the table? How do I make sure that I am still respected and that I'm still recognized and I'm still top of mind in my area? If you come from Bungoma, Vihiga, Busia, you cannot sit there and say that I am fearing to run because nobody is supporting me. And that's why I said maybe when we do the trainings on politics, we need to talk to women and say, how do we make sure that those people who you need to align to recognize you, even if you do not have the resources, even if you're young? What is it? How do you make sure you get there without compromising your standards and ideals so that they can respect you for who you are and they give you space right next to them? The space you see us sitting on is not a space that you just go and, there are very many women. People will assess you and they will look and say, does she bring whatever it is? Can she convince me that she can be that MCA? Do you think she has potential to win? What is it that you have? Are you yourself persuaded that you should actually be running for that seat? Because that's the first thing. Once you are persuaded by yourself, then it will be easier for you to convince somebody else to back you, even if you have no resources. Because we have to align, even within parties. Then the second thing is to make a good decision. If your region and environment, if where you come from, for example, you're predominantly of another party, there's one dominant political party where you come from, you can decide to stand against that dominant party, but you should also be aware that if you do that, you will reduce your chances of winning by maybe 2/3 or 1/3. It's a reality. And so you have to understand, do I have the resources to go against this grain? Does it make a difference which side I am on? Will people listen to me if I come and speak to them from this side, which is not necessarily the dominant party? And then you can also make the decision, I will run even if I don't win. My issue is to make a statement that this is a democratic society and I want another party to be heard. That also is good enough. You have made your point, but you have to have made up your decision from the very beginning is, why am I, as an individual, interested, for example, in running for that MCA seat or MP seat? Why do I want to run? Am I persuaded that whatever reason that I want to run is good enough to get me to that seat? Secondly, can I persuade other people? Because before you even persuade your constituents, fellow leaders, you know, your colleagues, your influencers, those council of elders questions you have had where they say that they will endorse this person or endorse this other person. Even if you can't influence them, how would you circumvent them? And I think it is important that I make this very clear today and now. I was not handheld to be given the seat for governor. I fought for the seat for governor. I want that to be very clear because there's a lot of association, and I will give you 2 examples. I was running, my county was very unique because we were running as 2 main candidates were women. The woman candidate I was running against, Honorable Martha Karua, who I always say, I tremendously respect. The only thing is I beat her in the election, but I respect her. She was running on a Kenya ticket, but her party was affiliated to Jubilee. In fact, the system preference was her. PS Karanja Kibicho used to go around with Martha Karua. And I used to campaign on the Jubilee nomination, first nganganaring with like 6 men who were in the Jubilee ticket. I needed to win that hurdle first, which I did. And if you remember, we actually had to cancel nominations in Krinjaga, and it was me who was screaming on live radio TV stations that this has been a fraud and we must repeat it. And IBC took over the nominations for Jubilee. Then I won nomination for Jubilee. Now I had to now run for the seat of governor against Martha. When President Uhuru came with the current deputy president to campaign in Kerenyaga, he did not endorse me as a Jubilee candidate. He said, "What niwa? Niwangu." He did not hold me and say, elect a Jubilee candidate. He told the Kerenyaga people, you choose whoever you want. Whoever you choose, I will work with. And whoever you leave, we will find them another job. Because that is what the promise is. So I had to fight against even that issue of you are not endorsed by your own party. In fact, that statement alone moved me from 80%, I think, to 60%. Because we were checking. And I wasn't, if you ask my teammates here, there's one of my campaigners, Pauline, you can wave. I campaigned with about 5 people. Pauline is one of my campaigners. She was upset. They were very upset by that statement. But then I already knew as a leader, I'm not coming for an endorsement. And when you're endorsed, you don't earn as much respect as when you have fought for your seat. And so I soldiered on, and I fought and won by a clear margin. It was a hard learning curve. So I think it's important that you learn. The first thing is to start with yourself. I had to go back to me. So if I had been depending on other people, my heart would have been broken. My spirit would have been worn. I would have ended my political career there. Said, you see, I wasn't even endorsed. How can you imagine? How come they're endorsing all other candidates apart from me? You know, and imagine, and I was a woman. So you can imagine how it felt. But I soldiered on. I hit the campaign trail. We never slept. And if you go to my Facebook pages, you will see every single day, 7 to 10 stops in that village, from one corner to another, convincing people you can bank on me. I promise you that you will never regret electing me. And I beg you for your votes. How you present yourself is a big deal, you know? And you request people to stand with you. And I connected emotionally with people. And I got a nice branding, Minji, you know, so that they felt like it's something, all angles. We tackled all angles and we managed to get there. So I think it's important that as women leaders, the first thing that you have to ask yourself, do you really want to stand? Do you really? Then the second thing, am I ready to face whatever it is that is likely to come on my way? And then thirdly, how do I align? Look at who are the strong candidates. You can never win alone. Look at the strong candidates. Let's say, for example, if you're an MCA candidate, look at who are the gubernatorial candidates in your area and see how to align. No vice governor candidate will choose one MCA candidate over another. You know why? Because every MCA candidate has supporters. But there is a way we support subtly. We make sure that when I am going out in the campaign, I go with the candidates, MCA candidates. For those who are asking, how do I support? And I give them the platform. So they do not use their resources. They did not use their money. They get a microphone and the audience, it's me who has brought the audience. So they have no cost. They just present themselves and sell the idea. And you see, if you're trained, if you listen, if you will get, you need to make that time. And I know there was another question about an academy. This kind of learnings are good. But bottom line, siasa ni local. Siasa ni local. You must go to the ground. There is no shortcut. And siasa is not Facebook. Siasa is your social media. Okay? There are people who think that if you have very many likes on social media, you will be elected. Not necessarily. At least not where we come from, where majority of our people are rural. Half of them, 3/4 of them don't care what is being said on the social media. They just want to know, did that MCA come to our village? Did they come to our church? When we said there was a bridge that had a problem, did you just connect? Were you just there? Did you come for that funeral service? Are you reachable? How do you treat people when they approach you? You know? Do you present yourself as approachable or are you arrogant? You know, how do you dress? You know? Do you dress in a manner acceptable to the people who you seek to represent? And let me tell you, those council of elders can have their meetings. Those other groups that endorse can have their meetings, but they can never go against the ground. They can never go. If you have the ground, they will have to align to the ground. If you have the ground, they cannot. They can't be in a corner by themselves saying, no, we do not want, but the ground has said it is you. And when I say the ground, I mean those people who are the actual people at the polling station who will walk and vote for you. And I hope that I've addressed the issue of what is it that we are doing as women leaders. So on my part, there are those people I mentor practically, and I walk with, and I stand with, and I spend time with. Many dinners in my house when we are up country, many evenings together. What is your strategy? How are you planning to deal with this issue? Are you convinced that you can beat the current candidate? What do you need? What if you're not able to? What is your option? So we've gone through that with Njeri and another one, Maureen, and all that. So in terms of answering that question, I think generally. Now, on the holding of your hands, as leaders, the only thing we can do is be here. When you listen to me, I hope that when you walk out of here today, you'll walk out as a woman candidate persuaded that you can actually do it. And don't think that we got here because it's been easy. The decisions we have made haven't been easy. I mean, when we say that we're sitting there introspecting on whether to change parties, it's not a simple decision. It's agonizing nights of sitting down, waking up your husband and saying, what if I make a mistake? You go through and ask and counsel and many people, and finally you make a decision. And people respect whatever decision you make. They will respect you if you make a decision and stand by it. People will respect you. Now, there are a few other questions that have come. One of them is on marriage and leadership. And let me talk about that issue of single mothers. As I said, we should never allow ourselves to be defined or branded negatively by circumstances that we are not the authors. No one wakes up and says, I want to live life alone. No one wakes up and says that I just want to be a single mother. No, I mean, you can be a single mother for various reasons, isn't it? No one chooses the home you were born. So you don't say that you chose not to be rich and you chose to have financial difficulties. How do we then, when we find ourselves in circumstances that discriminate against us, how do we even use that for our own advantage? You'd be amazed that as a single mother, you get more sympathy than somebody who would actually come confident that it depends on how you present that single motherhood. And that's what I said, it's important you listen to your community and what it is that they value. If, for example, your community is conservative, ensure that you also align to the conservativeness. And this also is a response to the young lady from Wajir who is standing for MCA, where you said that in your communities, the leaders are elected in a negotiated democracy. Then align. Then align. Because you find then which is your community, which are the seats that are open in your community, and find the influential leaders using the right channels. So if, for example, you cannot approach that person yourself, there is an elder in your community who can be used. Then you can ask, find the person respectfully, find a way of getting them to go and talk to so and so and so and so. And we do that as well. Believe it, I do it even today. Even this afternoon, I have a meeting with somebody who I need to go and talk to somebody about something that I need supporting. And I am a governor, and I'm at the level at which I am. So you must learn to do that, because not everyone you can approach yourself. Then all those people have influencers around them. Learn who they are. Learn to negotiate. So on marriage and leadership, advice to all women, this is a personal advice. This is how I do it. I don't know whether it applies to everybody. Keep your family completely private and away from politics. Shield your family. Protect them. Because half the people who will be insulting you, they don't even know you. You know, so if you're going to be sitting there, you'll just wake up, you'll start gaining momentum on the ground, and somebody will decide to insult you on social media. Now, if your family is very exposed, they drag in your family into the insults. It becomes completely unbearable at home when you go back home. And then you may reduce the support that you will get from your family. And you need your family to be your fallback. Because when you have gone through all the hardships of campaigns, all the hardships of public service, all the insults, all the whatever else, you need to be able to go home and leave all those things at the door and get into a home where you're loved, you're accepted regardless of your mother is there, your brother, your sister, your husband, you need that, your children. And they also need to be able to do that, but they can't do that if they're also part of the insults and part of the abuses. So that is the advice I give women on the issue of families. But some people are different, and they approach it differently. But for me, I advise as much as possible, if you can, separate, especially to shield your family, because Kenyan politics can be very vicious. And if you're not careful, you can end up now paying a huge price also on your family front and not just on yourself. Now, there was another question: how do you deal with the challenge of standing where you were born and not where you're married? That's a challenge, isn't it? And sometimes your opponents will use it. The best way to deal with it is focus. Focus on what it is that you want to do. I stood in Krinjaga. I'm now married in Murang'a. Krinjaga is my paternal home. And I know many other women. Cecily Mbarire is running in Embu. She's married in Teso, you know? And many women who are running where they were born. So that should not be our defining factor as women. Focus. If they try and bring that one, use us as examples. Say even Waigoro is running and Cecily, and sometimes that will quieten, but it shouldn't bother you. Don't let them distract you. They say that so that they can distract you. And focus on what it is that you will deliver to those people and assuring them that you will serve them as diligently as any other leader. How do you deal with publicity and propaganda, especially if they relate to morality and integrity issues that you cannot publicly address? I think, for me, I don't think there's anybody in this country who has gone through the kind of media attack I had on NYS. I think for 6 months, there was 26 headlines on me and NYS. 26. But I always ask people, have you ever wondered why I'm not in court? If they have all those 26 issues. It's very difficult. And I hope that, and I've even had this conversation with the media house, and I said, I hope you never take another woman through what you did to me. I hope so. I hope that they learned that to distinguish between propaganda, political fights, from wherever it is they have come from, whether from your own colleagues or whether it's from people who think that you're a threat, and reality. And that also is, again, starting to happen. It seems to have been in the last 7 or so years that if you want to bring a leader who's sitting in office down, for example, if you're running against an MP who's in an MP, the easiest thing to do is call them corrupt. And then therefore you're likely to win. If there's an audit query of CDF, you say, you see, there's an audit query. Audit queries exist to be answered. There is no institution without an audit query. Every institution, Even the US government, even our government, every ministry, there must be audit queries because you have 100,000 staff members who will do some things that have to be audited, and then there's an audit query. Then you go and answer the audit. But that doesn't necessarily mean that anybody is corrupt or not corrupt. But in this country, what has happened is we've decided to, if you want to pull somebody down, bring them down. Now the effect has been counterproductive. Even if you ever said someone is corrupt, nobody believes. Because they just think it's another attack, the way we attack everybody else. So negative publicity will be there. For women, it's even harder. Your surah, someone starts saying, do you look how my legs are put on social media? Then somebody says, do your hair, your ears, things that they never discuss with men. Have you ever heard them discussing men's legs? But you will be discussed, all your parts are discussed, they're put on all manner of things, which as a woman leader, let me urge you, if you're running against a woman, don't do that to another woman. As a principle, I do not. And that's why you heard me saying, I respect, you will never hear me say something negative against Martha Karua. As a matter of principle, I have refused. I do not think that if I say it, that is what will earn me votes. I will compete against her. I compete against her on policies. She's my main competitor even now. But I will not start saying your legs look, I don't know how no. And I urge women, as a beginning, we should be the ones who say, no, we will not play those kind of politics. If the men want to play them, let them. Let us focus on what is important. You know? Because first of all, it discourages good women leaders from running. There are many who would want to run, many who would serve this country. But just that exposure in itself discourages them from getting out. So I think negative publicity, stay away from it. You will be shocked to know that I post on Facebook, but I hardly sit there reading the comments. I don't. And I have two phones. I have the phone that I am carrying, which has all the relevant contacts that I need for running the county government. And then I have another one which has all the WhatsApp groups of Kerenyaga and Kenya and UDA and whoever else who wants to have a WhatsApp group and include me in it. Now, every time I switch on that phone, every group has maybe 9999 plus. It's not possible for me to read all of them, right? So I find a way of picking the ones that I think I would want to hear what's going on the ground, and especially with regard to service delivery or something to do with my candidature or my opponent, but not to be in the ones that are calling each other names. You know, there's a WhatsApp group, like you can't even read the sentence to the end because of how someone has gone really below the belt. So I don't sit there. So if you see me looking cheerful and happy and I'm trending because somebody called me a name, I'm just not aware they have called me a name because I haven't been on that social media and I'm not going to look at it. So, and you must learn as women to do that, because if someone goes there and writes something that is really hurting, very hurting, even if you try and say you're strong, you won't be able to go and work in campaign. You won't, because you'll just be thinking, they said that so-and-so is my boyfriend. And so, you know, so you're going to be sitting the whole day, you're so conscious that that is what, in every meeting, how will you run a campaign? And they will give you boyfriends every week. Or maybe find another reason, assign your children to different men, you know? You're told this child, look, they look like this one, this child is, how? And then now you're thinking your mother has seen, maybe your brother. Now you need to explain to them, how will you campaign? And your opponent knows that when they do that, they will stop you for 1 week so that they can get ahead. So stay away from that social media. Find a way of getting your teams to look at what is important for you, use it for communicating. But when it comes to pulling you down and propaganda, find a way of staying away from it. My final is disability and those physically challenged. I think they're secure in the law in terms of being provided for. I think for them, we are ensuring, just like we're doing with IEBC and our political parties, that their space is secure and is not taken up. The challenge will always come when they have to choose the individuals. that you'll always have to position yourself, because even amongst those with disability, you'll always have a lot more people than the positions that are there. But we try as much as possible to use the fairest criteria, and at least where I am, and now in being a member of the UDA party, I would influence as much as possible to ensure we provide a free and fair process of choosing those who should represent us.
I think your last question was, you said that you were going to tell us the considerations to move from one to another.
Okay. Considerations of moving. Why do we, the first question you ask yourself is, why are you in leadership? Why do you want to run? Why do I want to be a governor of Krinjaga County? I want to be the governor of Krinjaga County because I want to serve the people of Kerenyaga, isn't it? That's the first. I think that I have something to offer in public service. And so I want to contribute to making our lives better. Now, those people is like a spouse. Can you walk to a man and tell him, I want to make your life better, and so I'm going to be your wife? No. Similarly, you can't go to Kerenyaga people and tell them, I'm going to make your life better, right? Tell them when they have told you that, yes, we would consider you, but this is our party of choice. For whatever reason they have decided. Now, you can decide, and I've said this many times, to go against the grain and say, no, I will come with the party that I think. Now, wisdom. You know, the Bible tells us that if you lack wisdom, you ask for it. You need a lot of wisdom in politics. And the first thing in politics is you must resonate with the people and the majority of the people. Those are the ones who are going to vote you. Bottom line. Those people listen to what it is they are saying. They may look like they don't know. So you're coming to tell them, I will build for you a bridge. They knew they needed that bridge before you told them. Because they're the ones who cross that river every day. And they're the ones with the challenge of children drowning. They will know what they need with regards to agriculture. They even can tell all these people who are presenting themselves. So the reason, and I made a deliberate decision, is I listened. And majority of the people in Krinjaga County, and I will say confidently in Mount Kenya region, had lost faith in the current Jubilee party for various reasons, which we can't enumerate here. And we have been talking about it even amongst ourselves. So when they decide that now you need to change the vehicle, the easiest thing and the most sensible thing and the wise thing to do is to align to the people. Listen to what the people are saying. That is the only way you will be able to win a seat. Because this seat, you are elected. You do not appoint yourself. My final question is, I heard somebody saying, why are you not running for president? It's not time. It's just not time. Everything with its time. Everything with its time. You have to look at yourself and ask yourself, nimetosha wapi right now? Can I run a presidential campaign around the country at this point in time? Alone? No. Is there a time that I probably will? Yes. I believe that maybe one day I will wake up and say I'm running for the President of the Republic of Kenya. But when I do, I will have made the assessment to make sure that I am ready, myself, those who support me, and those who, including I have the infrastructure and the support and the resources I need, both human and financial, to make sure that you're running for that. So the reason we're not running now is, for me, as Anne Waiguru, it's not time. And so right now I am pursuing very hard to regain my seat as the governor of Kerenyaga County and serve the people of Kerenyaga for another 5 years. And possibly, if other offers come, we will consider them as they come. But for the President of the Republic of Kenya, at this point in time, for me, it's not time. And I must commend you for your boldness. You know, must commend you, because it is not easy to wake up and say, I'm going to run. There are very many people who have said they want to run even as men, and we haven't seen that much traction in terms of moving. So congratulations for that. And you're breaking ceilings for many women. We haven't had candidates for a long time, and we wish you the best. Yeah, we wish you the best. Who knows from what that statement will come from. But as for me, at this point in time, I support my party and my party presidential candidate at this point. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. A round of applause. A round of applause for Her Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, I think she deserves a standing ovation. Surely this is an incredible, incredible achievement. Loving it. Excellent. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Any last words? Any parting shot? Good luck.
Let me take this opportunity to wish you all the best as you go to run in your various counties. And there was a question, if I come to Vihiga, will I campaign against you because you're not in my party? I think wisdom will tell me how to go about it at the time, because it's very difficult, I must tell you, to campaign against a woman, and a woman you know who has potential. But there is always ways to ensure that you do not put another woman down. And so when time comes, you will see what I will do if I happen to be in Vihiga County. Asante sana, and I could also ask you to come to my party so that it is easier for me to support you. And for those who are in UDA, I think we have arranged a date with Madam Gatabaki, and I'm sure they will inform you on what it is that we need to do to support you to ensure that you win.
Another round of applause, please. So, Kayamba, Africa, take it away as we celebrate our governor. Need me after. Excuse me. Thank you. You guys. Thank you, madam.
Young.
Look at this one.
Wewe
Say that. Thank you so
The time has come for women leadership to rise. Women from the national and county levels, young, old, minority, and marginalized women, women with disabilities, women in grassroots.
Tuangaliane ni
nasikia kuingia hapa.
Yeah, my legs are
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies, look at your time. I know some of you need to leave because you're going far. Ladies who are on the podium, sasa podium ni yangu tena. So, kwa heshima kuu na unyenyekevu, nitawafukuza kidogo tu so that we support the women who have to go far to get where they need to get to. Please do not destroy a dada, vote a dada. Well, we are going to send it to you. Ladies, ladies, listen. No.
Because we need to go far, we need a photo with you.
We're going to do the photos. We're going to do the photos after. So, allow me to take the stage back. I'll take photos after. Find me, find me. Ladies, you know, I won't push you off because that's not what we agreed. But now it's my turn on the stage again. Let's go, ladies. Now, their number, no, hold on, no. We'll take the photo after. Whose phone is this? I have a phone here. Who has lost their phone? It was left. Come and tell me where it was left. Let me have volume, please, or give me a Kayamba Africa microphone.
Now, ladies, now your head to Let's just tell the truth. Just let me finish. Because, let's sit down, I will address all of it or come down from the podium. Because I have to release, there are women who will be in trouble if they don't travel tonight.
So, I want my podium back now. What? Hey.
But this is good because it's exciting. There's a meeting for women from Makueni. Women from Makueni. Where's the lady who wants to meet the women from Makueni? Can you see the woman with her hand up? That is the person to see. Women from
Rift Valley women.
Rift Valley, very quickly. I know some of you are leaving. Put your hand up. Rift Valley, that's who you're meeting. Women from Kiambu. Women from Kiambu,
That corner there.
On that corner over there. Those who are supposed to leave now, please go get your stuff and start moving. Your transport is ready. Food is served, so please make sure that you do eat. And there was to be a vote of thanks, but allow me, because I won't be able to speak again, to say it myself. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Truly, I've appreciated you. I've enjoyed your energy. I wish you luck. And if you don't make it this time, you haven't lost the war, just a battle. Go back. Thank you, ladies. Now, we've had prayers from the Christian community. We will do prayers from the Muslim community at the Islam Center.
May I ask you a question?